I've a feeling that that co-op fair could have been some sort of milestone for change. The co-ops now have far more of the potential to actually contribute towards the sort of job creation schemes throughout Britain and play a significant part of contributing to the economy.
This street was developed by Hackney Cooperative Development. It was designed to provide premises for workers' cooperatives who were trading in Hackney or who were going to start up. Bradbury Street was a very run-down street when we started the scheme. It's a street which was decaying in a borough which has a lot of urban decay. It really has brought the street to life. It's made a tremendous impression. It's drawn people from Kingsland High Street down into Bradbury Street and done a lot for the trade in the area. Mosquito Bikes, for example, are a very successful cooperative, been running for a number of years, and they didn't have a shop front, and having a shop front has proved tremendously important for them. Alpha Omega, who do TV and hi-fi repairs, also had a workshop which was really out of the way, and getting a shop on a street has proved very important.
There is a nice feeling in the street, a very supportive feeling, and it is good to know that there are other co-ops very near us. Letterbox Library is a children's book club. We look for books which challenge sexual stereotypes, which show, for instance, enterprising, adventurous girls and boys who show their emotions, rather than the usual traditional roles. We went on a TOPS course, and through the TOPS course we produced a business plan, and on the basis of that we went to talk to Gleb, and they were sympathetic to what we were doing and didn't automatically disqualify us because we didn't have capital.
Gleb makes loans to cooperatives at a very favourable rate of interest, currently 5%, whereas if a cooperative went to a bank, it would have to pay, say, 15% if it was able to get a loan at all. So Gleb has encouraged the growth of funds, the growth of co-ops, just by making funds available at low rates of interest.
We set up a small sum scheme where we grant aid a local cooperative development agency to help co-ops with their small capital needs in the early stages. So it might be for a small feasibility study, it might be for a small sale capitalisation, or it might be just help them to do a bit of market research or something. And that's been quite important as to helping people at a very early stage to actually develop their co-op ideas.
Gleb has supported a number of training courses because training is of first importance in helping co-ops not only start up but survive.
We knew very little about business, running a business, before we went on the training course, and during the course we covered a lot of different areas, things like VAT, PAYE, all the kind of things you need to know. How to do a cash flow, that was something we didn't know before. I mean, what we got out of it in concrete terms was a business plan, which actually had all kinds of predictions as to how many books we would need to sell. One of our most successful books was Rita the Rescuer. She's a little girl who gets a rescuer's outfit as a surprise one day, and she goes off and accomplishes these amazing feats. And in fact, in 2 schools that I know of, there were little girls who went in with Rita the Rescuer outfits that their parents had made and kind of became these folk heroine figures in the school. It's really nice.
Wasn't there a school as well where in the assembly hall they had Superman
yes,
on one side and Rita the Rescuer on the other?
Yes.
So that's the first time girls had had a model to sort of look up to. We're both single parents with young children, and we wanted to be in control of our working environment. Being in a cooperative, we don't have to ask someone else for permission to take extra time off during holidays, or if we've got to take a time to the dentist or the doctor or something like that. We're the ones with the responsibility, and we don't have to negotiate with anyone else. It's up to us. And we've got members from all over the world. And we knew we were the first non-sexist book club in Britain, but it does seem that we're probably the first one in the world as well, which is a funny feeling, really.
Gleb also is trying to encourage co-ops to work with each other. So funds have been provided to federations of co-ops, because in some ways the best people to help a co-op is another co-op. Building co-ops is an obvious area where there's potential for working together. The Federation of Building Co-ops could bid for a larger contract than any building co-op can by itself.
Hello, Westland CARICOM.
Westland CARICOM is a group of West Indians.
Oh, yes.
We do conversions, extensions, a lot of re-roofing and grant-aided repairs, other sort of alterations and redevelopments. We set ourselves up as a co-op because we felt that it's important in this day and age for everyone to be involved in decision-making, to feel a part of the whole sort of working process and to perhaps govern their own sort of future and destination. It might just give them added interest in the kind of efforts and energies they are prepared to put into building out the whole thing. And also, I think it makes them take a lot of pride in the work that they do for customers.
In joining a group of our own, we find that we work together in unity and we get more done. That's one of the great privilege I work in a co-op.
The loan from Gleb has certainly helped to keep us going. We've bought ourselves a truck. We started the expansion of the office. It provided us with working capital and encouraged us to keep our morals up. We don't even advertise. We have work now for the next 9 months solid.
Being in a co-op is a unique opportunity for many people to obtain skills that they wouldn't otherwise have the chance of getting. The skills that you need to run your own business, bookkeeping, accountancy, financial planning generally, administration generally. Most people don't have the chance to learn these things. In a co-op, you do.
Matrix is a feminist architects co-op. Most of us have had architectural training. Some of us have also learnt building skills such as carpentry and joinery and bricklaying.
Well, I'll finish it later.
Yeah,
right. And then we'll start with the blue here.
You know, I'm going off the phone, okay.
We approached Gleb because they were willing to help co-ops who were setting up. The loan enabled us to carry on with the jobs that we'd already taken on.
If you can fit around you. That was that car, wasn't it? One job is converting a bathhouse into a children's centre for local women.
Just come in that door, and that wall is the wall there.
Right.
So as we look down here, the hall is going to extend from that back wall to somewhere where the second truss is, not that one there.
Right.
So all of this bit is going to be hall.
Can you tell me about the glass up here?
Well, we're having double glazing on the outside because
The job always comes back into the office and we discuss the job as a group.
Is that both cleared up?
No, at the moment, both the wings have got the individual bath cubicles in them. And before the building work starts, that's the first thing that they'll do. Will have to be cleared out so that we're left with 2 empty wings in the entrance hall.
The feedback we've had is from women's groups we've worked with who said how different it is working with women architects than working with men, and how much more confident they feel about the decisions that they're making.
Inside, you can do anything inside that sort of shell. And this is what this model is sort of trying to do.
The London Cooperative Enterprise Board is just getting underway. We feel this is a very significant step forward. For the first time within London, or in the UK, I believe, the cooperative movement will have a large amount of money which it can use to encourage and develop the movement itself.
Gleb is very interested in the development of larger cooperatives. And when we say larger cooperatives, we really mean anything above 30 employees. Lithosphere has been going for about 5 years as a printing co-op in London. It's expanded quite well over that period. But came to a stage it wanted to expand further and approach Gleb for finance, for printing machinery and extra working capital. They're hoping to grow from 12 workers to 30 over a period of 2 years and become a significant firm within the printing sector in London.
The range of work goes from very simple letterheads right through to complex 4, 5 and 6 colour jobs. A lot of it's for entertainment and arts in London.
The Gleb loan enables us to speed up the process of our development so that rather than this taking 5 or 6 years, it should only take a couple of years. It meant that we were able, with this new equipment, to go out for the larger kind of customer that we want to go for in the full confidence that we could cope.
The way the company runs itself is relatively conventional. We have a production department and that coordinates the various skills throughout the building. And we also have monthly meetings which are attended by all the members and workers in the cooperative.
I'd like to report on what I've found on the equipment and get everyone's go-ahead to go ahead and buy it. At which point I think Tom ought to come in and start negotiating with various people to get the best price. The biggest bottleneck is in the plate making area on the printing down frame. We want to keep that.
You've got to keep that.
Right, okay, well we've got
just get it bottlenecking again.
We've got a bit of a problem there because the budget says 3,000 and the Gleb loan allows for 3,000, so unless we can make savings on the other equipment,
well, we can.
We can we?
Will it be bigger than the one in area size?
Oh yeah. It's actually too big for us, but we've got this funny size, this image size that it's in between A2 and A1.
Yeah. The Lithosphere is a closed shop. We're all members of either the NGA or SOGAT 82.
Although we don't have an equal pay structure, we do have a salary structure which allows for increments over a 5-year period. After 5 years, we did imagine, and it is proving correct, that people acquire enough skills to warrant, should we say, a 5-year skilled salary.
The cooperative fair, organised by Gleb, was a very new thing for us, and we put a lot of effort into preparing for it. I think, on the whole, it was extremely valuable. I mean, for a start, it was absolutely packed out all the time. We never stopped talking to new people. We made initial contact with a very, very large number of new potential customers.
I've the feeling that co-op fair could have been some sort of milestone for change.
There was a lot of excitement by everybody, I think, who participated. It was such a unique opportunity to see all these co-ops that you hadn't even known existed from all over the country. The level of professionalism that they'd reached was really quite exciting, I think, and quite an eye-opener. Everybody who was exhibiting there felt that they'd learnt a lot about each other and made contacts with people who might be customers in the future.
Right.
You wanted to see them. As a way of putting cooperatives more in the public eye, I think it was very successful.
Can I? Right.
Okay.
Right.
Come to the exhibition, yes.
Yeah, it is good. I'm very pleased.
Well, we'd like to expand in terms of having more people working for the co-op and selling more books and maybe eventually even publishing our own books.
Providing stable employment, that more than anything is what we're aiming to do. There is an element of helping to train some youngsters, but that has to come when we are fully established and can finance it.
At the moment, we feel very strongly that by following through a way of working that involves everybody concerned in the building process, that's a positive way of working towards the end.
There's a lot more incentive to actually work harder, basically. Nobody feels that you're supporting someone who's driving their roller in and out just to see what's happening. People here reap the benefits of the work they do.
Working harder is conceived as an advantage, somehow.